What's up gamers, it's TheSaiyan here. Let's talk about why MUI Goku is not the best unit in the game right now. Today I'm not gonna showcase MUI because I've done that already. There's tons of people actually doing it right now and I'm probably gonna do it anyway in the future. But I wanna actually talk about the fact that MUI Goku was like super anticipated. He's the 4th year anniversary headliner. He's the newest LF. He's like the new shiny toy. But for some reason he's not the best unit in the game. And yeah, I wanna know why, because usually the big celebration units should actually take the #1 spot for at least a bit, you know? A lot of people are actually saying that the androids are better than MUI, and I can kind of agree to that because my androids are 3 stars, and whenever I use them, they feel like more oppressive and they do more damage than my 7-star MUI. And yeah, that's just the reality of it. We also have Ultra Gogeta. In my opinion, he's also slightly better than MUI because first of all, he's got type advantage over MUI. The 2 new LFs we got are both red, so Ultra Gogeta can literally just destroy them. Plus he can lock in, so if he locks you in and he gets his ult when he's last man standing and you're with MUI and you don't have Vanish, you're kind of screwed. And same goes with the androids, you kind of have to take that, and if the androids are into the 17 side and they're type disadvantage to Gogeta, they're just gonna get one shot. So Ultra Gogeta I think is maybe #2 or 3 in the game, and also Ultra Kaioken is still a force to be reckoned with. He's super oppressive, he has long combos, he can get his Vanish back. True, he's type disadvantage to MUI, but used correctly, I think he still is #2 or #3 in the game. And that makes MUI #4, maybe #3 in some cases, but I feel like there's at least 2 units that are better than him. I don't know, I think it's a shame that MUI Goku, the 4th year anniversary unit, is worse than the LF we got right before the anniversary. It's like so stupid, you know, he should have been better, honestly. But right now I want to go over his kit and tell you what I would add to him or take away to actually make him be like #1 or at least close to it. So first things first, his stats. Honestly, I'm just gonna go and see him at max power. His defensive stats don't even reach 170, and I think his defenses are not too great, because if you get this guy into a combo and you cannot switch out, you can kill him pretty easily, and that kind of sucks, you know. I know he has his gauge and all that, but you can play around the gauge in so many ways and actually get this guy into a combo and kill him. Okay, so some of his strikes and blasts that you get might have the little icon there, which is actually giving you 10 extra % to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts when you use them. So those are pretty cool to have. They're not always gonna be in your hand, but when they are, make sure you use those first and then chain into other cards so you get that extra damage. On his art, you can see here on his strikes, this is permanent on every single strike he does. Same applies to the blast. He gets 20% to strike damage inflicted, and on blast he gets 20% to blast damage inflicted for 5 timer counts. And yeah, basically when you do a combo, you're just gonna stack up a bit of damage, but it's only for 5 timer counts, so that's gonna go away pretty fast. But still, it's better to have them than not to have them. On his blue card, he does massive impact damage. He gets 25% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation. So that means every time you land a blue card with him, he's gonna have that extra damage. Shortens ally substitution counts by 2 on hit. So you have to hit for this to work, and cannot be nullified by most other special moves. So that means if you go like with the regular Goku that does a normal Kamehameha, you're probably gonna just go through that and actually your blue card is gonna hit with MUI and you're not gonna have to do the beam clash, and I think that's pretty cool. On his green card, he draws a strike arts cards, that's pretty good. He restores zone ki by 35, that's decent. I would have done more because with the 14 cost you basically get 20 ki, so that's not a lot. I would have done 45, maybe 50. Restores own unique gauge by 25%, that's amazing. And you get 15% ultimate damage 2 times, so that means you can stack it up to 30% ultimate damage. So basically, before you do your ultimate, you want to try and pop 2 green cards with MUI so you get the most amount of damage on your ult. And then he cancels own attribute downgrades. That's something extra that's always good. One thing I would have liked to actually see on his card that would have helped this guy so much is some healing. 10%, 15%, maybe even 20%. That's a bit much, but I would have kept it to like 15% health back, or at least 10. And yeah, that would have helped him out a lot, because this guy only heals on main, and that's not enough, you know. Like once your health is like super low, even if you pop main, you're not gonna get back a lot. And if you eat a combo with him, you're basically half dead, so he's not too great. His ult, classic, deals a lot of damage. He gets 30% ultimate damage inflicted when he activates it. So if you pop 2 green cards and you have this, you get 60% extra to your ultimate damage. He goes through cut with it. That's really good for 3 timer counts again on activation, and he nullifies endurance for 3 timer counts again on activation. So basically his ult is really good, and he doesn't have blast armor, but he goes through blast darts, so that means he's not gonna take any damage. It's same as Ultra Kaioken, so that's really good, nothing to complain here. Okay, so his main ability, he gets the ult, he gets health back by 35%, which is really good. He gets ki by 30, that's also good. You can do the ult and still have a bit of ki left. He gets damage inflicted for 30 timer counts, 30% damage inflicted, and then he nullifies cover changes for another 30 timer counts. This is a great main ability. I would have just added something extra to it, and that would have been the endurance nullification. Take it away from the ult and put it here for 30 timer counts, same as every single effect on here. If he had that on his main to be able to nullify endurance, that would have made him so much better. I mean, he's the anniversary unit, bro. Like, you just gave the freaking androids, who are like literally the LF before the anniversary, they nullify it forever, bro. They just do it like that, you know, and they nullify cover change on their green. So that unit is like, it has too much, you know. This unit should have had, at least on his main, 30 timer counts to nullify endurance. I think that would have been great for him to have, and it would have like bumped him up a bit more. His Z ability at 14 stars is really good. You get 3% to strike damage inflicted by Episode Survival Saga, USS, and 38% to attack God Key, USS, and Saiyan, base strike, and blast attack. So it's a great main ability to have, especially because it buffs Saiyan, so that's like a really broad tag, so a lot of units can benefit from this ability. And yeah, that's great, nothing to complain here. Okay, on his first unique he gets 90% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. He gets cut, 50%, cannot be cancelled. He gets card draw speed by level 1 forever, cannot be cancelled. And that's really good. Then you have applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. So when he enters, he gets 40 ki, amazing, 40% damage inflicted, that stays, and I mean, it cannot be stacked, so but it can be cancelled. So that means if you get cancelled and then come back in, I guess you're getting it again, I'm not sure. Then reduces damage received by 15%, again cannot be stacked. So I'm just assuming those can, like, if they're nullified, then they can be brought back. If they're not nullified, then they don't stack. I guess, I don't know. It doesn't say they cannot be cancelled, so I'm pretty sure like someone's main or green card can actually cancel them. Applies the following effects to self and this character evades an enemy attack with a vanishing step. So when you vanish, basically, restores ki by 20 and gets 20% damage inflicted to his next arts. That means strike, blast, I'm guessing even blue card or maybe ult. It just says arts damage and all of them are arts cards. So yeah, I think even ult counts. So that's pretty cool. Then he restores own unique gauge by 15% every time he uses a strike or a blast card. That's pretty cool because his gauge goes down super fast. Honestly, at first when I heard about this unique, I thought it's just gonna be too busted to just get it back on his cards. But when I saw how fast it depletes, it just goes like phew. You kinda need something to bring it back up. So I think this is a good unique. Applies the following effects to self when 2 allies are defeated. So he gets 40% of his health back and he gets his unique gauge to 100%. Okay, this part right here, You know, I mentioned about healing on his green and having more defensive stats. Well, I would have taken this whole unique out. Yeah, just get it out, at least the endurance part. So I'd rather this guy not have endurance, because endurance is something nowadays that can be nullified so easy. Literally every unit that's good nowadays can nullify endurance. It's either like permanent or on their main or on their ult. There is some way to nullify endurance. Just take Ultra Gogeta for example. He can lock you in, he gets his ult if he's the last man standing, and yeah, you're locked in, he has an ult, he nullifies endurance for 30 timer counts after he pops the ult. So even if he misses that ult, then he can nullify your endurance. So basically this unique, I don't like it. I think endurance is not what it used to be, because so many units can nullify it, and I'll just take this out and give this guy healing on his green card and better defensive stats. Okay, so for his second unique, basically the first part means that he wins Doki Bakis if you go and clash with him like strike versus strike or ult versus ult. And yeah, that's pretty busted. I kinda like that, but at the same time I don't really like that, because literally what can you do against that? You know, you just have to take a hit for no reason. Okay, he has the special cover change against Strike or Blast, activates 2 times, same as MUI Goku and Super Saiyan for Gogeta. He consumes 30% of his gauge when basically he evades an attack, even if it's a tap attack, tap shot, strike, blast, tackle, like all of these, it doesn't matter which one, it takes away 30% of your unique gauge. That means with a full gauge you can basically evade 3 attacks max. Then you have to like recharge it somehow. And it says here, if it's a strike or a blast arts attack, this character will also counter after evading and deal impact damage to the enemy. As you know, basically if you blast my MUI and my gauge is being used to avoid that, you're also gonna take a hit back. I think this is like super broken. If used correctly, you can just like destroy people and just not even use cards and just do damage, which is pretty busted. And it also says that you cannot kill anyone by doing that. So let's say if I counter your unit that has like really low health, you're just gonna stay at 1 health, you're not gonna die. So at least that, you know, it would be like way too broken if it would actually kill. Okay, and here on the last part it just says that his unique gauge cannot be used if he sidesteps or if he attacks or something like that and gets caught. And it also says that the unique gauge decreases by default even if you don't use it to evade an attack. So basically it always is just going down permanently. And that's basically everything he has in his kit. There are some few things that I would also like to add besides what I said earlier. That would be every time he uses a strike or a blast, either get some ki back or reduce your card cost, one or the other. Because this guy wants you to like 4, maybe 5 cards with him, you have to stop. There's nothing else you can do. He has permanent card draw speed, level 1, but what's the point of having that if you don't get enough ki to actually do longer combos, you know? When you have card draw speed by level 1 forever, I expect you to at least be able to do 5 to 6 cards in one combo, and MUI cannot do that. After 4 cards you might be out of ki, and yeah, you have to stop there, you know? So either give this guy card cost reduction or freaking restore ki on his cards. And something else I really would have liked this guy to have is actually the ability to go neutral. Like, not a lot, I don't know exactly when, where or how, but if this guy could have went neutral for like 20 timer counts, 25 timer counts on his main, let's say, making go neutral on his main, then this guy would have definitely been the best unit in the game. Maybe number 2, but I think he would have been number 1. And it's not a lot, you know, it's just a few tweaks to his kit that can actually improve him and make him like what he was meant to be, in my opinion. Let me make a small recap. So first off, take that endurance off. It can be easily nullified, and it's conditioned by having 2 allies dead, and that's never great. Then instead of that, give him healing on his green card, and on his strike and blast give him card cost reduction or restore ki, so he can keep those combos going for longer because he has card draw speed forever. On his main, make this guy go neutral and give him the endurance nullification on his main for like 30 timer counts, and that would actually make him like really good. And I think this is all I said, those 4 things. Well, it's not a lot, but it's still, those 4 things could have made this unit like extremely good, and I don't think it would have been like way more different from now. Being able to squeeze 1 extra card in your combo, being able to nullify endurance for 30 timer counts. There are units that are not even LFs that nullify it forever, DKP. Yeah, going neutral for 30 timer counts, again, I don't think it's a big deal, because this guy against a blue unit, he's not really doing much. He can just stall for longer, so he's not gonna die so easily against a blue. But for him to kill a blue unit, just imagine Zenkai Vegito Blue. Do you think MUI Goku has any freaking chance of killing Zenkai Vegito Blue? I don't think so. And that means even if he had the type neutral, he wouldn't have been like amazingly busted. And then, yeah, I think that's all I said. Yeah, and healing on his green, I mean, come on bro, a lot of units actually do that. Some units just heal for like going out and coming back in, you know? So healing on the green, it would have been like not a big deal again. So yeah, those are the few things I would have liked MUI to have that would have made him like a bit better so he can take the #1 spot, because I think for who he is, he deserved to be a bit better. And yeah bro, I mean, just compare him to the androids. Those guys on their green card do a lot. Like they nullify cover change, they nullify endurance forever, they heal every time they freaking attack with 17. 18 can take away your freaking vanish. There's so much the androids can do. They switch their element literally, so I think I said what I had to say. MUI is still good, don't get me wrong, he's just not the best, and he should have been the best. But yeah, if you guys agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. I'm curious what you think. And also, if you think of anything that MUI could have had to actually make him better, but not over the top, let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious what other people think. And yeah, I really think they could have done MUI better. But hey, we're gonna see how he ages in time, how the meta changes. We still have a second part, maybe even a third part for the anniversary. So we don't know what's gonna happen. And MUI might actually become better and better with time. That's been the case with other LFs in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm on my way to 500 subscribers. It's not a lot, but I'm literally like 20 away. So if you could help me with that, if you keep watching my content, if you enjoy it, obviously, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace. I hope this video makes sense because, oh man, in my mind it made sense, but now saying it all out loud just sounds weird.